member of the public has written to ask about the police role in enforcing 20 miles an hour limits. What responsibility do the police have for enforcing these limits? What are the challenges, and as a slight supplementary, what are the challenges to policing speeding vehicles, especially in residential areas?
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. The issue of speed enforcement, whether 20 miles an hour or above, is of course an issue, and when you and I did a radio phone-in, it was probably the hottest issue of the day. The 20 mile an hour limit is actually developed, and the road signage developed through the Department of Transport and with local authority. The enforcement can fall to police, but again my position is, should it fall to police other than in the most extreme circumstances? We would rather see the public educating themselves. As a member who's now moved back into Exeter, I would leave my village at 7 in the morning just outside Exeter, where my neighbours would dutifully drive at 20 miles an hour to the 30 and would happily leave me in their dust as they did 50 miles an hour through the next village. So someone somewhere is actually us. This is a responsibility for all of us to obey the speed limit, and we recognise that the majority of the public do not. And so it is something when precious police resources about how we behave in communities. Very often when we do community speed watch schemes, we find that the perception of pedestrians of speed isn't actually the reality, and sometimes it is the reality. Conversely, we find that many people who actually breach the 20 mile an hour and 30 mile limits either live in or in the confines of the village themselves and are either unaware or very, very embarrassed. The issue for me is one of public education, but the role of police in specifically is if we feel, as a result of a number of letters from the public, our own speed watch, and you'll see many of our PCSOs putting up the speed watch to educate and be aware that we have got a problem, then we will conduct enforcement and prosecution as a final resort. I don't know if it's true, but to give a reality, I was told when I came here that Devon has more miles of road than Belgium. We'll add in Cornwall as well. And in terms of traffic enforcement, of all the priorities you touched on at the beginning, this is something where I think the public themselves need to take a greater role. But let us be clear, where there is clear evidence of breaking the speed limit excessively and endangering the public, we will enforce. In terms of us dealing with speeding vehicles, especially in residential areas, our officers are highly trained, particularly in terms of pursuit. Only certain officers are accredited to pursue, and any pursuit, i.e. the car is refusing to stop, brings in a series of measures which are run from the control room. And our position is, which is the national position, is that if we believe the public are being placed at greater risk, we will break off from that. Anything you wish to add at all, Paul?
Just to add the local perspective, really, I do fully support the self-enforcing of 20 mile an hour speed limits. Very difficult to police in an purely an enforcing way. We run numerous speed watch campaigns across Devon. Primarily 20 mile an hour speed limits are in place in locations where there is a requirement, such as near to educational premises and schools. We have run speed watch campaigns where school children have been involved in stopping drivers and educating drivers, a really powerful tool to educate drivers, many of whom have young children themselves, in the error of their ways. And I think that's a more proportionate approach. If we get intelligence-led information with regards to reckless driving within those areas, then clearly we have a role to play, and we will act on that intelligence. But the self-enforcing element does tend to work, and the speed watch campaigns that we have across the county, I think, have been very successful.